In the last lecture, we used the transition component to see how it works and how we can use it to control whether an element is removed or shown. Let's now use this transition component on the modal to animate this. So for that, I'll again add my transition component down there, opening and closing. And in between, as you learned, we will get a function where we get this state argument, which is entering, entered, exiting, or exited. Now we also define what should be rendered in between. In between, I want to render my modal. So I'm going to cut this out here and enter it right there. We can remove this checked below that. I will leave this checked for the backdrop because I want to still show or hide the backdrop just like this without an animation. Therefore, I can also just set show like this to true always because it's removed anyways if I don't want to show it. Back to the modal. There, we now want to control this transition. So I'll set the in property to this state and then modal is open. If that's true, then the element returned here in this function should be shown or treated as entered. I want to do this, let's say, with the timeout over 300 milliseconds. Now what I can do is I can pass the state, and with that I mean this animation state stored in this argument, to the show property in the modal. Inside the modal, I then can take advantage of this to still attach different classes. However, what I will do here is I will check if props show is equal to entering, which is attached right at the start when we click this toggle modal thing. Then I want to play the modal open animation. Otherwise, and for that I'm going to split this over multiple lines. Otherwise, I want to check whether props show is equal to exiting. In this case, I would like to play or add the modal closed class. In all other cases, no CSS class will be added. If we now save this and we go back to our application, if I click open modal, you see the animation is played for showing it and also for dismissing it. And still what I can do is in app.js, I can also, if I just split this over multiple lines to have an easier time reading this, I can also still add mount on enter and unmount on exit here to really get rid of it. And still, if I click open modal, I get the animation, the same for removing it. Because now we're taking advantage of this transition property, which simply adds a delay before it is removed from the DOM, which gives us the time to play our animation due to the state we get and due to us using this state inside the modal component here, where I check whether we're exiting, which is the state right before it's removed from the DOM. And therefore, unlike before, this is now not happening too late.